Washington felon caught impersonating police officer at crime scene, because if you're a fake police officer, that's exactly where you want to go, a crime scene where all the real cops are going to gather, right? He's got a firefighter helmet too.
We learned today that Bremerton officers at first thought this guy was a real police officer who was backing them up on emergency calls. But those officers said small details didn't add up about his uniform and what he was saying about his job. Those officers at the time did not know this guy was a convicted felon who a judge said today poses a real risk to the community.
You see it on the news every day. Most of these cops go on to be convicted felons anyway, so he had his dessert before he had his dinner. What more do you want? He was only supposed to be a security guard, unarmed security guard, while he was on Salvation Army property. Salvation Army Santa Claus outranks this guy. He was out in the streets being a whole cop, abusing authority that no one ever gave him, assisting other police officers. That's where he messed up at, because to everyday people, they might not ask that many questions as long as you look the part. But as for other officers, if you talk to them for more than, I don't know, 2 minutes, apparently, they'll suss it out pretty quickly. A Washington convicted felon, which is inaccurate from the New York Post, because the prosecutor clearly told the judge that he does not have an in-state criminal history, but he has an extensive out-of-state criminal history. I Still Love You Post is accused of impersonating a police officer when he arrived at various emergency calls, and authorities discovered he had a large amount of police equipment. Michael Scaletta Teets, Mezzi Scaletta, responded to an active police scene in Bremerton, Washington on September 5th, my birthday, where he wore a dark uniform with a tactical vest that showed a metallic Edmonds Police Department badge and police and SWAT patches, according to the Bremerton Police Department. So SWAT's gonna answer an altercation at 7-Eleven? It's Velcro, Mezzi. You could have ripped it off and put it back on when you got a SWAT-related situation. I thought you were like one of our detectives at first. I thought you were one of us. A Bremerton police officer told Scaletta Teets police body camera footage obtained by KOMO showed, "I know some of the guys with the task force." No, you don't. Scaletta Teets told the officer during his arrest. Scaletta Teets responded to a trespassing call. It would have been funny as hell if they would have asked him to name somebody in the task force, and a tip about a potential fire in a parking garage, according to the outlet.
I thought you were like one of our detectives at first.
I know some of the guys work with the task force.
Michael Scaletta claims to be a law enforcement veteran.
So I retired from Baltimore City after 27 years. Came out here.
He said he worked for Thurston County, but then became a detective with Edmonds Police.
They wanted to put me in the jail. I know a lot of detectives from Edmonds, from the gang network and stuff like that.
So Bremerton is on the west side of the Puget Sound, and Edmonds is on the east side of the Puget Sound. Actually, Edmonds is a suburb of Seattle. It's not like New Brunswick, Franklin, or New Brunswick, North Brunswick, where there's some overlap and the departments are so close to each other. They communicate with each other regularly. These towns are 35 miles apart, so you can see where he can trick someone on the other side into believing that he was a police officer. Let me see your license. Now I know where you live. Give me money. You see what I'm talking about here? Or quite possible that he can pull someone over that's transporting meth and they blow his brains out. The perks of being a police officer. Police quickly figured out that Scaletta Teets, who drove an unmarked Ford Explorer with activated blue lights, did not have the extensive resume he claimed. Scaletta Teets claimed he moonlighted part-time as a security guard. You were only supposed to be a security guard at the Sally and nowhere else. When you clocked out of that job, you were a security guard, no more, until you clocked back in. You weren't even supposed to have a gun for the job, or a gun period, as a convicted felon, and was an officer with the Edmonds Police Department in Edmonds, Washington, roughly 35 miles away from Bremerton, all the way on the other side of the Sound. The felon introduced himself to the officers as Mezzi Scaletta. That was a red flag, because they're asking him his name and he keeps saying Mezzi. Mezzi, Mezzi. Who the hell is Mezzi? Is that your real name? You're trying to get familiar familiar with me and I don't even know who the hell you are. We on two different wavelengths," and failed to provide his police commission card and identification card given to law enforcement. He did not have it. Officers called the Edmonds Police Department and discovered the staff did not know Scaletta Teets and claimed that he was never on their payroll. Can we not do this in front of really? Scaletta Teets asked while being handcuffed and taken into custody. What do you mean? Can we not do this in front of all the people that you lied and told them you were a police officer when in all actuality you're just a security guard at the Sally, not even a full-time security guard at that?
The anti-narcotics training on base every year.
Bremerton police say his story unraveled.
Can we not do this in front of everybody? I mean, really?
You're doing just fine keeping your hands over that.
Yeah,
I appreciate
no
it.
problem, man.
What agency did you say you were with?
Edmonds?
You're with Edmonds.
Edmonds, yes.
Investigators say he's not a cop, but was working as a security guard here at the Salvation Army in Bremerton. Witnesses around the shelter says Scaletta had been behaving bizarrely.
He was intimidating last night. We told a couple of my friends to shut up and keep walking.
Anyone with aspirations of being in law enforcement gets in pretty early on, fresh out of high school, fresh out of the military maybe. No one wakes up at 30 plus, 40 plus after doing jail time and says, "Hey, Ma, I figured it out. I'm going to be a cop starting now. Starting today." Snap the hell out of it. Who would want to be a cop in today's climate anyway? You're underappreciated. You're underpaid. Content creators make fun of you. It's more thankless than being the president. Police on the scene looked inside the windows of the suspect's truck and noticed that he may have been ready to impersonate other respectable jobs as well. He had a firefighter's helmet, but I'm positive the firefighters would have sussed him out really quick. Scaletta Teets was filmed in a separate incident responding to an emergency police call at a 7-Eleven and allegedly told customers that he was a cop, according to the outlet.
You can see him in this clip of an officer responding to a real police call at 7-Eleven.
He was talking to customers,
Yeah, customers inside.
and he told them that he was a police officer?
Yeah.
It was one of two calls that Bremerton police say he responded to before officers started asking who he was.
We checked it. We call Edmonds, right? Edmonds says you're not on their payroll. Never have been. They don't know you.
Is this guy going to jail?
Oh, yes. Look, he's got a firefighter helmet, too. He's ready to do it all.
Of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this. I love to hear your opinions on this. If you want to be a fake cop so bad, why won't you go be a fake cop in Chicago? Why won't you go be a fake cop in DC? Why won't you go be a fake cop in Memphis? I already know why, because you want the fruits that come along with that image of authority that the badge gives you, but you don't want the price tag or you don't want the risk either.